Check the description for more game reviews, playlists, and videos.
Naruto, 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 Naruto. How you do frustrate me so. Key questions I need to answer here. Is the game rage-inducing? Yes. Is the game broken? Very much so. Is the game balanced? Hell no. Is the game fun? Is it fun? That's a silly question, isn't it? Yes, Naruto Storm Revolution, or to use its appropriate title, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Tenkaichi Flash Cannon Dance Dance American Revolution 2 Electric Boogaloo, is fun at times when it chooses to be. It's also monumentally frustrating. The physics themselves are so unfathomably inconsistent that you can never be sure if dashing toward your enemy will make them stumble so you can get in a quick jab, or if it will fling you halfway across the map, calling forth the Sage of the Sixth Pass to banish you into Kurama's anus. Seriously, one time I was having a great match with a guy and we really took it to the wire. Great minds think alike. As such, we both had the idea to use a guard break pill at the exact same time. Apparently, the game wasn't programmed to handle such an apocalyptically desperate situation because when we hit each other, he shrugged off my dash completely, whereas I stood in a starry daze like Super Mario after a night out with Peach. The guard break pill almost never works for me. Half the time it'll hit a support character or cut off halfway through the dash. The other half of the time it'll simply not work. Guard breaking is perhaps one of the biggest and most exploited aspects of the game. After all, who needs skill when you can just lock every possible defense your opponent has and ravage them while they're completely unconscious and helpless? Who knew CyberConnect 2 advocated for date rape? Sure, it takes near impeccable timing, but at least 20 times in the last few days I found myself getting guard broken by people who counterattack in the middle of a ninja move backflip. Why is that even possible? And why is it possible to have a zero-frame transition from a combo to a counterattack? It is also possible, given the very short stumbling times, which I warned about in Naruto Storm 3, to counterattack immediately after a person successfully dashes into you and knocks you off balance. The notion of counterattacking is fine, but the penalty needs to be higher, a third or a half of one's chakra, rather than a quarter. And the effect needs to be diminished. No more counterattacking dashes. A dash is not necessarily an attack. When a counterattacking person is dashed into, they should just bounce back or be knocked off balance for half a second. And why is it that being guard broken after a counterattack leaves you vulnerable enough for an enemy to take literally an entire health bar of damage from you? Using an ultimate jutsu when your opponent is helpless does not take skill. Using a triple ultimate when your opponent is helpless is cheap as hell. And yes, using a combo and then ninja move canceling into an ultimate jutsu when your opponent is guard broken and helpless is also a bitch move. And you know what always ends up happening? When you finally get a counterattack off on someone who's been running away and or spamming the entire match, they manage to snap out of it in a matter of milliseconds. What magical button combination are you pressing that I don't have the knowledge or dick-numbingly frantic desperation to figure out? Are those guys just using turbo controllers or something? But enough about that. The game is broken, we all knew that. Let's talk about the cool things. Boss awakenings, unbalanced and ridiculous as hell, but awesome. Team Ultimate Jutsus, fantastic. Drive type, fucking hell. I finally thought we would be able to have a mostly balanced game that spammers and overall assholes will have difficulty gaining ground in. But of course, they add in the drive type. Sure, it's not as flashy as the other types, but I'd argue it's at least a zillion times more broken than the Ultimate Jutsu type, and twice as annoying as the Awakening type. Guard type makes a fabulous return and is more frustrating than ever before, says the blurb on the back of the case. Oh, it can't be that bad, just keep dashing until the supports die. Fantastic idea, except that chakra doesn't grow on trees, dickhead, and the supports just come right the fuck back. What? What are they, Edo Tensei? How in the hell do they come back after dying? That's the one thing CC2 could have done right to balance out the drive type, but no. Of course they managed to fuck that up. And the attack type is broken as well. When a support character or some other piece of shit like Akamaru lands a hit on you, when you substitute that hit, you end up in the same place, getting hit by the same combo. Before you know it, you're out of subs and your opponent is troll dancing on your grave. All this would be better if supports like Anko didn't exist. Hidan's broken in Naruto Storm 2. Let's nerf him, and then make Kimimaro just as broken. Oh no, Kimimaro's being abused now. Let's nerf him, and then put Anko in the game. Does no one think these things through? And then you have moments when Minato's hitting you with Rasengans that last for centuries, and the Nejis and Nagatos of the world are too overzealous for their own good. The most popular support characters are now anything that makes a Team Ultimate or Anko, Kimimaro, Idiot Toby, and Orochimaru. Gee, I wonder why. Only in this game do you have a situation in which a trifecta of the greatest Hokage in the Hidden Leaf Village are beaten by a joint team of 13-year-old Tamari, Anko Mitarashi, and Kiba and his goddamn dog. But despite all that, my biggest issue with the game is that parts of it seem so incredibly half-assed. There isn't even a Rinnegan team name. Gaara, wearing his war clothing, has a deep, complicated relationship with his late father. But if Gaara decides suddenly that he wants to put on different shoes, Gaara's dad will not even know who his son is. Kazekage Gaara, who gets Shukaku extracted from him in the first few episodes of the series, can utilize the demon in battle, whereas PTS Gaara, to whom an entire arc of the storyline was dedicated to him losing control of the beast inside of him, still has his generic awakening from Storm 1. Naruto and Gaara don't have an awakening together, neither do Gaara and his dad, or Gaara and Sasuke, or Gaara and the other Kage. All this is just using Gaara as an example. Haku and Zabuza don't have a Team Ultimate, Sakura and Ino don't either. And this is precisely why Naruto Storm Revolution feels more like an expansion pack of Storm 3 rather than an actual sequel. Bandai Namco probably thought the same, that's why the game costs less and doesn't have a number on the end. But damned if they don't try to make a quick buck. The game just came out, and there's already DLC for it up the ass. This is Soul Calibur Lost Sword syndrome. Let's recolor a few things, tweak something here and there, and make minor changes to the aesthetic that would take one guy an hour to do, and not package it with the retail version of the game. Let's sell it as full-on DLC, even though all of this could very well have been completed and included. Fuck you, Bandai Namco. In short, it's fun, but it's unfinished, and it's an untested nightmare. If you get any Storm game, get the original one if you have a PS3, but barring that one, get Revolution. It's got the most characters and the flashiest moves, but as it stands, this game doesn't deserve any rating out of 10 because it's simply incomplete. And for God's sake, will someone at CC2 headquarters please fix the online interface? I don't want to wait an hour to get spammed by some douche for a minute and a half.